All right, guys, I'm going to show you a piece of footage here that is really cool. I don't want to be like messing with copyright and stuff like that because this is taken from Joshua Bardwell and Blunty and a flight test and a bunch of other people and stuff are in this video. So I don't want you guys to think that I was trying to rip off their content, but this is a very important message about trying to raise the weight limit from 250 grams to 1 kilogram so that more people can fly things. Because if this thing does not happen, there's a good chance that the RC plane hobby especially is going to be gone, simply because people are going to have to put remote ID on everything that is heavy. And so it's going to mess all kinds of stuff. So let's say your drone is already like 250 grams, just above 250 grams. So even if it's just a couple of grams over 250, you're going to have to put a remote ID module, and it is going to cause some serious problems with performance. And I've been talking about this for a long time, but there's some real heroes here in the field who are doing something about it. And so I thought I'd just show you guys about that. Sadly, there's commercials that have nothing to do with what I'm trying to talk about here. Here we go. You guys can listen to this little bit here, this bit of conversation, which is really important. And all of these four guys are trying their best to make the hobby survive a little longer. Otherwise, you noticed if you went back in the old days, 5-10 years ago, when I was in New York, they used to have all kinds of amazing drones that you could buy in the little moms and pop shops as you're just walking around Manhattan, stuff like that. All of that is gone today. And then you won't even find like airplanes and stuff like that. You can't fly anything that's big anymore. And the whole hobby has been pretty much killed in New York and in most big cities. And now this is going on, and it's going to be worse for, the more rural areas now are going to be affected by this too. So they're basically ruining the hobby, whether it's drones, planes, helicopters, you name it. This whole sport is about to die if we don't listen to these awesome people right here. And so listen, please. I've bought some things from eFlight because I really believe in the educational programs and stuff like that. And I listen to Joshua Bardwell and Blunty speak all the time, as well as this other guy. I can't remember his name. But anyway, he's been working to try to stop all this madness. So let's take a listen.
When you think about who is the FAA beholden to, I mean, it's not just sort of legal, sort of org structure, but it's who is in their ear. Who do they see as their constituents or their customers? And I imagine it's primarily full-scale aviation. Yeah. And then you've got organizations like the Commercial Drone Alliance and the AMA with hundreds of thousands of members who are they're used to hearing from them. And then we come along with our little, and I'm amazed at the amount of input that you guys have gotten, getting on working groups and tasking groups and so forth. But we are in some ways not really their constituents, and they're not used to hearing about our concerns.
Having ADHD has been a real challenge in my life. You're losing stuff all the time. You can't remember appointments. The depression.
Yes.
But when we go to an elected representative, anyway. I mean, on some level, we are their constituents, literally, in many cases.
Beautifully said. This is an area that we hopefully can utilize our numbers. My best estimate is there are over 300,000 FPV operators in the United States, and Josh is very humble about it, but he's turned around model airplane flight in the United States.
There we go, Josh.
So it was a decreasing hobby. It's now up over 1 million people in the United States. So we've got that many people that they vote or their parents vote, and these we can definitely make a difference.
I think that I'm going to be bold here and say that this is a show your true colors moment for the AMA. And I know you guys can nod and be quiet, or you can speak if you want to, but the AMA from what I've seen, the AMA defends the rights of their members, which is, of course, the right thing for them to do. And a lot of times it feels like they don't consider FPV hobbyists or people who don't fly at traditional fixed flying fields to be their members, and they don't go out of their way to defend those rights. I don't think there's any question that the 1 kilogram limit would be good for AMA members.
Yeah.
And if the AMA doesn't come out and support this with just as much exuberance as they've supported other things, I feel like they will have shown their true colors. I don't know. Do you guys have any comments about that? I'm putting you on the spot.
No. And here's the thing. I have strong opinions on how to get people in the hobby and how to engage people and stuff. I don't want that just for a flight test. I want that for the whole community, and I want the way that we do it, if people find that valuable, to go into AMA clubs, to go into AMA fields, because we have a really cool method and formula to introduce this hobby to young kids. If you don't do that, if you don't protect that, if you don't look at things like raising this weight limit up to that, what they're effectively doing, separating everything about maybe what they feel about different CBOs and where they're positioned with membership and stuff. But if we don't work together as a group with all the CBOs getting in one accord around this, it's really going to affect how we get people in the hobby. Because I can no longer go out to Johnny or Nancy and say, hey, do you want to learn how to fly an airplane? Okay, well, the first thing you need to do is you need to go ahead and, oh, you're not in a FRIA? Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. You need to buy this module. That's going to cost you some money. And you're going to need to be able to put this module in this airplane. Now you just doubled. And when you look at a plane that weighs 1 kilogram and you look at the module, even the most cost-effective module could effectively double the price of that plane.
Yep.
Let's look at people that struggle just to pay their bills, but they want something they can do as a family. Let's go ahead and look at where, okay, well, let's say you don't need to worry about that because every AMA field has a FRIA on it. First of all, that's going to take years because we found out one FRIA application could take up to 4 months to approve. But let's just pretend, we wait 7-10 years and all these FRIAs are magically approved. Now, Johnny and Nancy have to go and drive to a location. We don't know whether that's going to be 10 miles, 5 miles, or 50 miles. They're going to have to pay yearly dues. They're going to have to pay a membership. And then they're going to have to buy their plane and fly. Those financial burdens was exactly why this hobby was stagnated and why it was kept to a very small demographic. And I strongly oppose that with all my heart. The original thing that got us into teaching people to fly is if you can afford the price of a video game, we can get you in the hobby. And that was what started the swappables. That was what started our use of foam board. I want to protect that, but that is not something that belongs only to my mind or the flight test community. That belongs to everybody. And I want the AMA to know that that's an olive branch that they can grab onto any time. And I want them to be involved, and I want to work with them. And I know David does too, to make this a reality. It's up to them on whether they respond.
Yeah. Well,
Awesome. So you guys heard from Josh and Joshua Bardwell and Blunty and this other nice guy too. We need to save the hobby here with the weight limits and stuff, and these people are working hard to make it so that we can somehow collaborate with the AMA, I guess, Model Aeronautics Academy or something, so that hopefully we can mend some bridges and get things done so that we can save the two hobbies. Because right now, the way things are going, this could be the end of all flying hobbies. From airplanes to helicopters to FPV, the whole deal. And so we really need to do something about this. If you have a chance to do something about this, do it. I'm going to look into the thing, and maybe I'll even write one of these letters myself. Probably not the best person to do it, but if I can, I will try to do that too, if it's not too complicated to achieve. But anyway, this isn't something that we can just not look into and just forget about. Because if we do have an option to fix this, it should be fixed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, guys.